All right, welcome to Pest Control Case Study Part 2. I'm just going to jump right in and start talking about the optimization and scaling and what we've done. Just to recap, we've gone through our search terms and we've picked out those keywords and built 15 pages and made 15 subdomains for each of those pages. So this is why we do thousands of keywords to one page. We wait and find the converting keywords, and then we build out specific pages to get them ranking, not ranking, but to get Google to see the relevance as being higher for the keywords that we're targeting. And the keywords that we're targeting, again, are the money-making keywords, so we don't have to do it for thousands of pages. We also put down a 15 to 20% bid adjustments on the proper places. In this case, it was states. And we also did it for days of the week and hours of the day. Now for scaling, we actually cut out all the low search volume keywords. We added new keyword ideas into another campaign, and those came from search terms and just from listening to the call recordings. We lowered bids on higher quality score keywords because we can. Basically what that does is it still gives us the same amount of traffic just for less cost. And then we removed all the keywords that didn't have any clicks and actually impressions as well. So once we've done all that optimization and scaling, I want to fast forward 9 days later from 9 days from the date that I got back to Barcelona and started up on the pest control campaign again, because I did pause it during that Barcelona event. So the results for now, those last 9 days, I've spent $1,193.14, and this time around I made $766, which results in 99 paid calls, and that's at $8 and $10. Those are the pay bumps that I got, and so I drove 365 calls total with a conversion rate of 27%. Now you might be saying to yourself, "That's nice. You're close to actually breaking even on this one." And I actually had a profitable day in there too, which was nice. There's a screenshot. You can see 365 calls, 99 of them paid, 27% conversion rate, total earned 766, and the dates, the 29th through the 7th. So this is part 2, 29th through the 7th. And here you can see in my AdWords account, here it is, the same date, September 29th through the 7th. And if we scroll down, you can see the amount that I spent, again, $1,193.14. Now, just to recap, this is where I was at the end of part 1 before the last 9 days. So I had spent $1,076, and I was only profitable to $252. Right, that's all I made was $252, and that only got me 36 paid calls at a lower rate of $7, and I'd only driven 234 calls with a conversion rate of 15%. And again, that was a 4-week timeline. So from August 22nd to basically September 21st, basically a month. And so again, that was the oh no, what happened stage. So just to recap the numbers, I spent about the same amount of money. And if we look at the results, you can see that I actually made 3 times the revenue, actually over 3 times the revenue. I made almost 3 times the conversions, but I had pay bumps too, to $8. At least I made the $8 pay bump. I drove 50% more calls total, which is key, because when you transition this stuff over to the local clients, when we do that in this case study, that's what's going to make the big dough, right? 50% more calls. And then a conversion rate that was almost double, 27%. I mean, up from 15%. That's pretty awesome. And all of that was accomplished in only 9 days. That's the key that I want you to see. So again, that whole nice, you're close to breaking even. But here's the deal on this case study. Life happens, and so I actually got an email from Ring Partner, the affiliate manager I have over at Ring Partner, and apparently I was bidding on terms that were supposed to not be bid on, branded terms actually. Now, if you remember, I specifically chose this campaign on Ring Partner because it didn't have anything on the campaign screen about not promoting brand terms. So when they hit me with this, needless to say, I was a little taken back by that. But again, yeah, there was nothing about branded terms on there. I talked with them and they said, listen, you're not in trouble. We just want to catch this early, because even though it's not in our campaign screen, and by the way, we're sorry about that, we can't have you promote those branded terms. Now, again, I'm not in trouble, but I had to stop my most profitable keywords immediately. So I actually, if you want to look here, here's a screenshot of the campaign screen, right? This is what I have you guys send into support for review requests, this kind of stuff, and this is exactly why. It's because if there's nothing listed here, then you're to the good until someone says something to you, right? Just play by the rules, and you'll be okay. So a couple of things about that I want to point out is that shit happens, right? I've got to make the best of it, and so I'm actually going to go back to the drawing board and pull out some new keyword ideas. I've got some awesome keyword ideas I'm going to implement because of this, and so I get to show you how it is in the real world, right? Because stuff like this happens sometimes, and I'm going to show you how to still profit from it. As you can see, the change of just one round of optimization really took us close to breaking even, which in the affiliate world, if you break even and make money you're going to do very, very well in the local client space. So this is what's going to happen next. We're going to set up those new keyword ideas, we're going to run some ads, and then we're going to optimize and scale as per usual. And that's it. That's all we got to do. I will be revealing with you in part 3 what the keyword ideas were that I had and why they make such a big difference and impact in the traffic volume as well as the costs. So I'll be able to actually drive costs down even further and re-optimize on a new set of keywords, since I kind of have to start over, but I don't have to start all the way over at the very beginning. So I actually have a lot of data to work with, which does help a lot. So profitability is around the corner. So I'm really excited about that. I'm sure you are too. So stay tuned on this for part 3. Part 4, just to give you a heads up on that, that is when we're going to be transitioning over to local clients as well. So we'll be running an affiliate offer for this, and we will be transitioning into local clients for pest control. So that's what's going on next in part 3 and part 4, and that's it for this video. All right, welcome to Marlin's Local Client Takeover Case Study, Part 1. And if you remember from our overview and our process, this is a local client case study, so there won't be any offer selection, but we are going after keyword discovery, building out a website, running the call-only ads, optimizing and scaling. So that process, that wash, rinse, repeat process that's shown here, we are still going to be using. We just already have an offer selected for Marlin's local client. So under local client takeover, Marlin has a client that is willing to pay $30 a qualified lead, and there are no duration minimums, meaning if the call comes in, whether it's missed, whether it's 1 second, it does not matter. There's no duration. The call can be disqualified if it's not about the vertical that Marlin is in, which we are keeping private for this case study. We're going to start in one city and then scale out to multiple. And it's going to be a copy paste into that same vertical just to the other cities. So copy paste in the other cities with that same vertical. So for keyword discovery, we used all the usual tools. We used What Ad Work, SpyFu, Keyword Planner, SEMrush, Ubersuggest, and we loaded those keywords into separate campaigns for easier tracking. We used one keyword, one ad group, and we used brand names related to Marlin's vertical. And we loaded up a bunch of existing search terms, which are new keyword ideas basically from the data that Marlin had already been running. Marlin has been running call-only ads for several months just without any optimization and new keyword ideas. So we went ahead and loaded up new keyword ideas for the keyword discovery part of this. And we also built out a website, and we used a general domain for the vertical, so we didn't get specific. We made one page for all the keywords while running the data, and we made sure all the plugins were activated and set up. Now, in addition to that, we created 120 plus pages for those converting keywords. Again, Marlin had been running data for about 5 months or so, and so we took those keywords that were converting and went ahead and optimized and made pages for them. Now, when we went and set up our AdWords, we used broad match and broad match modifier. That's what we always start with, exactly how I taught you to set up those ads to start with. And then for the converting keywords, since we already had some of 120 some odd, we used phrase and exact match for all those converting keywords. And so here's what happened the 30 days prior to Marlon and I working together on this case study. You can see he was profitable, and these numbers are not bad considering no optimization and no keyword ideas, new keyword ideas. He had made around $277, $278 for the month prior to us working together. And if you look here, you can see May 1st to October 1st of this year for this campaign. The orange line is the cost, and the blue line is the clicks, which is ultimately converting into calls. And so you see the lines are really, really close together. Even in the peaks, the cost actually still increases, and even in some area, the cost actually exceeds the volume there, and that's obviously not good for business when you're not making as much of a profit, right? And here's the look at the last 30 days. So you can see 1162 was spent. Actually, it's almost $1,163 that was spent. And again, the last 30 days, there were some serious days where the more money was being spent than was being made, and in several of those days and over the last month. Now, for the optimization strategy, we went and added the new keyword ideas from the search terms section, and we lowered our bids. They were at $10 a click. We lowered those to $4 because I wanted to see what the lowest hanging fruit was at $4 a bid, $4 a click. I chose 4 because I looked at some of the averages of what some of the decent keywords, and I just took a stab in the dark. Normally, I would recommend starting at 2 to 3 if you're just starting out, but since we had 5 months of data, it was incomplete data, but it was enough data to make a semi-educated guess that $4 a click would be somewhere around what we want to start out at just to drive some traffic, which is significantly cheaper than $10 a click. So we knew we were going to save money. Even if we did lose a little bit of call volume to start with. So yes, we had the lower volume, but we wanted to find those higher quality keywords. And ultimately, from optimizing, we want to run enough data to be able to find the best day, hour, and locations to run in. Now, for the scale strategy, the new keyword ideas that we loaded in are going to give us volume once we determine which keywords of those are converting the best, and we increase the quality score on those through optimizing, right? And we're also doing long tail keyword research, and we added those to the campaigns with the same process. So we use some long tail keywords, and you can see here's a forecast from the Google Keyword Planner. Basically, this is from just one of the sets of keywords that we had that were long tail, and you can see the cost would be somewhere around the $130 to $160 range, so about $2 a click based on that math. And the cool thing about that is $2 a click. I mean, that's about $4 a call, and $4 a call, if you remember, Marlon was paying somewhere in the neighborhood of like $24 a call. So we'd be able to save ideally somewhere around the $20 mark and put that right back into Marlon's pocket out of the $30 that he makes per lead for his client. So we fast forward 2 weeks later, and we take a look at the results that we've got for now. So Marlon spent $218.47, and I'll show you all the screenshots here in a minute. And he made $690 because he had 23 paid calls at $30 a pop. Now that's $471.53 profit, and again, that's only for the first 2 weeks of the month. So this is where Marlon was at before, just in case you didn't remember or didn't know. He had spent $4,573, and from that he actually made $73.80. So he was already profitable, no doubt, with call-only ads. That just shows how powerful call-only ads are. With no optimization and no new keyword ideas, Marlon was still able to make really decent profit. 246 paid calls is what that totals out to at $30 a lead. And so that's, again, 246 calls that were driven over 5 months. And his profit per paid calls is what that totals out to at $30 a lead. And so that's again 246 calls that were driven over 5 months, and his profit per month average was $467.67. So that's his average per month profit from May to October, May 1st to October 1st. And the last 30 days, it was only a profit of around 277, if you remember. So his profit the last 30 days has kind of dipped a little bit, that's mostly due to the unoptimized campaign. But the average over the last 5 months is actually $467. I want to remind you guys where we're at now for the first 2 weeks since we've started. We've only spent $218. We've made $690, 23 paid calls at $30. Here's the really crazy part. For only 2 weeks of running in the month of October, we've already exceeded what his average monthly is for the entire month profit. We've already exceeded that average for 2 weeks, which means we still have another 2 weeks. The best parts about this is that we don't even have the call volume that he used to have. There's no real optimization on any of his keywords yet, so this is only going to get better, folks. Like this is this is crazy stuff. We were literally able to take him to a whole nother level. And just to give you just to further show you what I mean by on another level, if you look at his keywords, you can see that I've blacked everything out for to protect the vertical, but the quality score, look at the quality score that we have on a lot of these keywords. I mean, we've got a lot of 10s there, a lot of 9s and 8s. I mean, this is some pretty effective stuff. And there's the screenshot of the ad spend. You can see in the upper left hand corner of this screenshot, Monday the 3rd all the way to October the 20th for the dates, and we spent $218 for those conversions. And so this was October the 3rd to the 17th, which is a couple of days before the full case study of the 23 conversions. But up to that point, he had collected $510. So he went from just in a couple of days collecting 510 to 690. That's awesome, by the way. That's $180 profit in like 3 days, which is great. And again, no optimization's been done. It's just strictly from adding those keywords in. And when we optimize, obviously we're expecting the call volume to double at the least. I think we can get more than double, but I'm going to say conservatively double. And at that rate, I mean, that's going to mean a lot more profit per call. So instead of paying $24 a call, Marlon's going to be making $24 a call, and that's the goal. So again, optimization strategy from here. What we're going to do is we're going to listen to the calls. We're going to lower our bids on the high quality score keywords. We're going to work on the days, or optimize for the days of the week that convert, optimize for the hours of the day that convert, and we're going to do that with 15 to 20% bid adjustments. We're also going to do locations. It's not listed here, but geographic locations we're going to optimize on. And again, 15 to 20% bid adjustments. That does not mean we're going to pay more. And we're going to continue to build out custom pages for the keywords that convert. So our scaling strategy, we're going to increase our daily campaign budgets. That we're actually limited on the call volume just by our budgets. Now we don't want to increase our budgets until we have optimized, so that when we do spend more money, it will be in the right places at the right time with the right keywords. And we're going to add those new keywords from ideas, which is found again in search terms, and we're going to combine brand names with the keywords in the new keywords. So here's what happens next. We're going to cut out all the low search volume keywords. We're going to add new keyword ideas into a campaign, and we're going to lower bids on high quality score keywords. We're going to remove all keywords that didn't have clicks, and in part 2 we're going to scale up for more call volume while still keeping our costs low. That's it for part 1. We'll see you in part 2.